Now can I call on David Jenkins? He is the New Zealand Country Manager of CPA Australia, and if you don't know what that is a professional advocacy and regulatory body for accountants. They are very impressive globally. The statistics are that they represent 23,000 CEOs, CFOs and COOs. So, but perhaps his greatest claim to fame is that David has played rugby at the highest levels in the United Kingdom. So David, come and talk to us about how business deals with government. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. I guess when you're introduced as playing rugby at the highest level for the UK, it doesn't really carry much weight given their recent performance in the Rugby World Cup, but and the shenanigans that went on there. But anyway, never mind. For those of you who are thinking, I'm actually a half-back, so I definitely wasn't in the front row. Just to give you a context, I guess, CPA Australia is 139,000 members, spread across 114 different countries. So, substantial organisation. But I guess you also need to know that we have a growing membership here in New Zealand. So it's basically providing people an alternative pathway to become professionally qualified, and our membership is rapidly growing here in New Zealand. I guess what I want to do is give you three areas where we've worked with government and some of the outputs there, but also some outcomes and some key outcomes that and how we've achieved that. I guess firstly through research. So we're currently working with the Australian government, working with Professor Michael Enright around productivity and looking at the international competitiveness of Australia per se, and that will obviously focus on some of the future economic and social policies. Ultimately, that will form or inform the Asian Century Review currently being undertaken by the Australian government. So research is one key area where we work with government. Advocacy for public policy development. So as an organisation, we're very much involved. In fact, as a reporting entity, we use integrated reporting and the Global Reporting Initiative. So we are very much advocates of integrated reporting, also around superannuation policy. And given our membership being very much at that C level and some high profile calibre people, we work with key government regulators, particularly around accounting standards with the ATO and also the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. The other key area is, and how we work with government, is primarily through education and standards. So it's a pathway to become qualified. So that pathway is quite rigorous. And as part of that, obviously, and part of being CPA Australia, we have a high standards for ethics and the profession as a whole, and therefore we have a zero tolerance on fraud and corruption. Three ways in which we work with government: research, advocacy for public policy development, and the education and standard setting that we implore for the CPA designation itself. In terms of some of the key outputs, and these examples themselves are Australian, but in 1990 to 1992, CPA Australia lobbied for the national standards for tax agents, and also there was, in the years 1997 to 2000, there was a focus from the government, particularly on corporate tax changes and GST. CPA Australia was a leading advocate for personal tax reform in Australia, and from 2000 on, the Howard Costello government produced 7 rounds of personal income tax cuts over 8 years. So that in itself, I guess, shows that by working collaboratively and obviously on behalf of our members, we've been able to reach real achievable results. As an organisation, there's 2 areas. We have obviously our membership base, which has significant areas of expertise, but also as an organisation itself, we are a substantial learning body, and we have a huge learning environment and body of knowledge. Those 2 areas give us significant breadth and depth, and I guess by working proactively and working collaboratively with government, we can offer real value. Thank you very much.